Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Craft Some More. I'm Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Take a look at this video or any of my other videos, and if you find yourself inspired, join my channel. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So hi everyone, today is the winter solstice, and you know what that means. It is time for another Yarny YouTube Hop. So this is the winter edition of the Yarny YouTube Hop, and I am doing this video to show you what I decided to make to usher in winter. Now, the Yarny YouTube Hop is being sponsored by Kim over at The Crafty Nomad, and Kim is a wonderful, wonderful designer and crafter. If you have not checked her out, please go over and do so. She is just awesome and just very skilled and very inspiring and just so many different crafts. And I just love seeing the things that she comes up with. And I love just the um, sense of community and the sharing that she does. Is just wonderful. So thank you so much, Kim, for coming up with this wonderful, wonderful collaboration and for giving us all an opportunity to inspire and be inspired by the season as well as one another. Thank you. All right, guys. So I've been inspired by a couple of places to go ahead and do this particular item that I ultimately came up with. And I've made a few items along the way, so I'd like to share those with you as well. All right. So I am really excited to come to you guys today to show you what I made for the winter season. All right, so as you guys saw in my teaser, I did choose the Wool Ease Thick and Quick as my inspiration yarn for the project. And I ended up having to add something to it as a result of just changing up the pattern as I went along. But I'm really happy with the results, and I hope that you guys will be inspired also. All right, so where did I get my inspiration from? Well, when the winter comes in, sometimes early in the winter, it's not as chilly on the East Coast as it will be later where I live. So I thought, maybe I could do a sweater. Maybe like this sweater. This is a miniature sweater, and I was playing around with increases, decreases, and such, and shaping. And I like doing these little miniature sweaters and miniature items because it gives me an idea of what my larger project might be. So I worked on this and thought, this would be nice, but I didn't have enough yarn in order to do this on a large scale. So I had to just put this one to the side. Okay. And that one actually can be used for an embellishment for a gift or as like a little small ornament that you can just kind of hang up somewhere as inspiration or something like that. It could be a little small keychain. You can do lots of things with it and not go to waste. And it's a nice way to use up your scrap yarn. All right. So that nice, but I couldn't do it. All right. So then back to square one. How can I use the yarn that I have and be inspired by the season? Well, I've used this yarn before, but before when I used it, I made this. Yes, it's a beautiful beanie and I love it, but I wasn't inspired to make another beanie. So, okay, nice try, but no. All right. So then I went looking around again and I found this beautiful miniature version of a small poncho. All right. So where did I get these from? I got this pattern from the Barocco line, and every year or most years, Barocco has been making a beautiful miniature pattern line as a way to use up the remnants of yarn that you have left over from your larger projects. So it's called Minutia, and it's just simply beautiful. And they come up with it each year, and I've been collecting the patterns and whatnot And perhaps in another video, I can show you guys some of the patterns that maybe inspire you guys as well. They are free and just beautiful ways to play around with stitch patterns and, just kind of have fun and then come up with the finished item as well. All right. So, yes, so I found this beautiful poncho and thought, yes, this might work, but it has eyelets. And on a larger scale, I didn't think I had enough yarn for it. So I decided not to do that one either. But I thought, you know what? Perhaps I could make a cowl. A cowl would make a nice, warm, cozy project. But I didn't just want a plain cowl. I wanted something with some style. So looking around again, I stumbled upon this beautiful cowl by Ashley. And here it is here. So Ashley Lillis has a free pattern that you can find on Ravelry, and it is called the Stockinette Bandana Cowl. And it is a beautiful, beautiful pattern, and it's easily written so that you can follow it, and it really doesn't take a lot of time. Now, I didn't have enough yarn to do that project. So I decided to kind of change the pattern up to make it my own, as well as just kind of incorporate some other features in it. And I will show it to you when I show you my finished item. And hopefully you guys will like what I did. All right, so let's take a look at my prototype so that I could get an idea of exactly what I wanted to do with this yarn. All right, so this is my prototype. So I wanted to do a garter stitch neckline and then kind of work a bit of the cowl, kind of like it would be a turtleneck of sorts, and then start doing my increases. And I did my increases on either side of a central stitch, and only did that in the front. And I elongated my shaping for this particular item. So mine is a little bit of a departure from Ashley's pattern. It's not exact. So if you follow that pattern, yours won't come out exactly like mine because I did do mine just a little differently, but I used that pattern as an inspiration. Okay. All right. So in the back, it is just straight. So there are no increases in the back portion of this particular pattern. The increases are just here in the front. And then I continue to do my increases even in the garter stitch edging on the bottom of it. All right. And I really do like the way this came out. I think it's a beautiful pattern and a beautiful inspiration that she came up with. And yes, so please check it out. It is available on Ravelry if you would like to make one. But again, mine is just a little bit different because I elongated my increases so that I got a longer and more gradual spanning out of the shape. Okay. All right. So in doing mine, again, I used the Woolly Stick and Quick and I used a pattern yarn. But if you guys have been accustomed to purchasing yarn and you purchase a brand of yarn, what you will notice is the pattern yarn comes as a different yardage from the solid colors. The pattern yarn comes, I believe, close to 130 yards. However, I'm sorry, the solid yarn comes as about 130 yards, but the pattern yarn only comes as about 80 something, right? So you are trying to follow a pattern, and if the pattern calls for a solid yarn and they tell you that you need so many skeins of it, you really have to count out the yardage in order to determine if you have enough. And if not, then you have to either figure out what you're going to do in terms of trying to complete the project, or just honestly choose another pattern because you will have some challenges you're not going to be able to complete. Now, it's not necessarily a problem for me because I did look at that and recognize that unfortunately I wouldn't have enough to do the exact pattern. And that gave me an opportunity to just kind of go ahead and just kind of make it my own. So what I did was I incorporated another yarn. Okay. So I'm going to give you the specs on the Woolies Thick and Quick, as well as the yarn that I chose to go along with it. Okay. So the Woolies Thick and Quick is a category 6. It is a super bulky, and it is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. Now, the recommended needle size is a 9 millimeter, which is a US 13, and the recommended hook size is also a 9 millimeter, which is US 13 or a letter N. Okay. Um, Now, I chose this colorway, which is purple martin, and it's a beautiful colorway. And I have used it in the past to make a beautiful beanie, which you see here. Um, but I didn't, again, want to make the beanie. All right. So as I figured I was going to have to use another yarn, I went to search. I tried to find either a purple yarn or a gray yarn that was similar to this one. And so I took some of my yarn with me as I went to the store looking for yarn. I checked my stash and I didn't have a color that matched. So then I had to go searching for, other yarn. And unfortunately, I couldn't find it. Even the woolies did not come in that particular gray or purple. So I thought, okay, no problem. I'm going to just have to find something that's going to blend with it. So what I actually found is this beautiful yarn here. And this is actually a category 4 yarn. And I ended up having to double it in order to get it to match the gauge for the Woolies Thick and Quick. All right. So now this is Craft Smart Value yarn, and the color for this is just gray. Okay. So it is a gray, but again, it is not the same color gray, believe it or not. Okay. So this is what I have remaining from the yarn that I used. Okay. And I used 2 full skeins of the Woolies Thick and Quick, as well as maybe a third of a skein that I had remaining from making the beanie that I showed you guys. Okay. So now when you put these two together, you can see that they are not exactly the same color, but they're close enough along with the purple that will help to break it up that I could put them together and I felt like they would be in harmony. Okay. All right. So would you like to see my item? I'm really excited to show it to you guys. So let's take a look at it. All right. So here it is here. And this is my garter stitch border as I showed you from my prototype. And then this is the Woolies Thick and Quick. And I really love the way the purple came out in the patterns. Now, again, I knew that I wanted to incorporate another color, and I had to figure out how I was going to do that. So I just kind of chose a number sequence and then just kind of went with it. All right. So I did the woolies and then I doubled my category 4 yarn so that it would kind of fit the same gauge and then continued. All right, so this is where I started doing my increases. And as you see, I did my increases along a central. And then as you see here, I ended it up with a garter stitch edge. And I also did increases as I did my edge because I really did want it to kind of flow better. And I didn't want it to be rounded. I kind of wanted it to kind of go more to a point. All right. So the back here, once again, no increases here. So you can see how this is more elongated than the top. Okay. But it is a beautiful, beautiful cowl. And I'm going to try it on. Okay. So I am back. What did you guys think? I really love the way it came out. And I do think that the subtleness of the grays that are in the two yarns really do pair together and that they are in harmony. To be honest, I really love the way this is. And I think that I probably would not have been as happy with just the plain wool ease patterned yarn because I really do think that I needed to do something to break up the pattern. And I think I found a good combination. So, yes, what do you guys think? Have you guys been inspired by projects, whether they're big projects or small projects? And if you are inspired, have you ever run across a challenge where you had to really think hard about how you wanted to see that project through in order to complete it? Whether it be a yarn challenge where you would run out of yarn like me, or whether it be a stitch pattern challenge where maybe you just didn't like the stitch pattern and you felt like you needed to change it up a little bit. Tell me what you think. So I am excited and winter is here and we will see what winter has in store for us. One thing is for sure, I'm going to be nice and cozy in my beautiful new stockinette styled cowl, and poncho. I love it. Okay. So, is this inspiring enough for you to maybe consider making something like this on your own? I would love to hear about it. And I would love to see photos if you decide to make something similar for yourself or for a loved one. So, yes, I think I will be making more of these and in different ways because it was not a hard pattern and I do love the way it came out. Okay. All right. So once again, thank you so much, Kim, for this wonderful opportunity to participate in the Yarny YouTube Hop, the winter edition. And if you haven't checked out Kim's channel, please go over and do so. Push that subscribe button, push the notifications for all. That way, whenever she uploads anything, you'll be ready and notified to see what she has to share. Also, there are a lot of other collaborators that are doing the hop. So please check out the playlist that Kim has put together and check out the other channels and consider subscribing to them as well. I don't think you'll be disappointed. There are a lot of just wonderful and inspiring crafters out there just waiting to share it with each of you. So for now, I want each and every one of you to do everything you can to be mindful, to be at your best health, and by all means, be crafty every day. I look forward to seeing you again soon in my next video or in one of yours. Take care now. Bye-bye.